The NT's prisoner population has surged to unprecedented levels in recent months, largely driven by the NT government's hardline approach to tackling crime. Since the Country Liberal Party came to power, the government has lowered the age of criminal responsibility from 12 to 10 and has introduced tougher bail laws for both adults and children. These policies are leading to an enormous rise in prisoner numbers, with about 600 further prisoners being locked up over the past 7 months. The majority of these prisoners are Aboriginal people, and about half of them are on remand, so they're still awaiting to have their day in court. The problem has become so bad that there's not enough room in actual correctional facilities to house these prisoners. So we're seeing a situation where we've got prisoners crammed into police watch houses because there just aren't enough beds to house them. In one recent incident, an 11-year-old Aboriginal girl spent 2 days and 1 night locked up inside one of these watch houses in Palmerston, where she was kept in a cell by herself with the lights on 24 hours a day, hearing screaming from other prisoners who were being brought into the watch house. This situation has prompted Anthony Bevan, who's the Chief Executive of NAAJA, Australia's Aboriginal Legal Service, to call for the federal government to actually suspend Commonwealth funding for NT Police's remote policing and other justice-related operations until the NT government changes its attitude and its approach to tackling crime, which he says hasn't actually reduced reoffending. Here's what Anthony Bevan had to say earlier.
We're saying that if those funds are Commonwealth funds, the Commonwealth should be putting some conditions on the table to say we shouldn't be locking young kids up, we shouldn't be locking Aboriginal people up in record numbers just because there's an election mandate.
So Sam, how have the Northern Territory and federal governments responded to this?
Well, the NT's Attorney General Marie-Claire Boothby has condemned these calls for a federal intervention. She's gone as far as labelling the comments as utterly absurd. In a statement, she said, threatening to cut essential funding to remote policing is counterproductive, dangerous and undermines community confidence. She said there is no alternative. Those who break the law will be arrested. In response to concerns about the overflowing prisoner numbers inside watch houses, she said that the NT government is working to expand the prison system. She says that they expect about 238 more prisoner beds will come online at an adult prison on the outskirts of Darwin by about mid-August. As for the federal response, Federal Indigenous Affairs Minister Malarndirri McCarthy agreed with NAAJA's characterisation of the problem and said that, you know, a police watch house really is no place for a child. And she also said that the reason why this is happening is largely because of the NT government's hardline approach to crime and these tough on crime policies. In a statement, she says there's something very wrong with the Northern Territory justice system when an 11-year-old girl is held in an adult police watch house for 2 days and 1 night. Senator McCarthy says she's aware of the issues and she's been talking to the Northern Territory's police union. However, she did stop short of joining these calls for a federal intervention.
All right, Samantha Dick in Darwin there for us. Thank you.